The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star initially filed for sole legal and physical custody of their two kids. Paul P.K. Kemsley and Dorit Kemsley are officially going toe-to-toe in their divorce, and it looks like the fight over their kids is heating up fast. As we first told you, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Dorit filed for divorce last month, and now it's clear there may be a custody battle brewing. According to new court docs obtained by Briefing on Bravo, Dorit originally requested primary legal and physical custody of their two kids, 11-year-old Jagger and 9-year-old Phoenix. But PK just fired back in his legal response, filed earlier today, and he's gunning for joint custody across the board. The couple's been married since March 2015 and were just shy of hitting the 10-year mark when they announced their split in May 2024. He's also asking to terminate the court's ability to award her spousal support. And with Dorit back on RHOBH, don't be surprised if this personal drama ends up in the Bravo spotlight. Last time we caught up with Dorit, she told us she was taking it one day at a time and staying focused on the kids. Need to, you know. In response to Dorit Kemsley filing for divorce in April, PK Kemsley is asking the court for joint custody of their two children. Dorit and PK share their 11-year-old son Jagger and 9-year-old daughter Phoenix. The estranged couple previously said they had not yet told their children about their split. The custody curtain, the final scene. The sunlight streaming through the wide glass windows of their Beverly Hills home felt more intrusive than illuminating. Dorit Kemsley sat on the edge of a sleek white leather couch, her perfectly manicured hands clasped tightly in her lap. It had been a month since she filed. 30 long days of tight-lipped conversations, uneasy glances across rooms, and the thick silence that followed the end of a love story once televised in high definition. PK had just left the house, slamming the door a little harder than necessary. He dropped off Phoenix after taking her to school. No words exchanged, just the mechanical back and forth of co-parenting in its earliest, most brittle form. Dorit sighed, reaching for the manila envelope on the table. Inside, the papers bore his response. Not just a rebuttal, this was a declaration of war. He wanted joint custody, no compromise. Her eyes scanned the lines again. Respondent requests joint legal and physical custody of the minor children. She closed her eyes and leaned back, trying to summon the version of herself that could handle this. The Dorit the cameras knew, composed, stylish, unshakable. But this wasn't Bravo. This was real life. The PR mirror. PK Kemsley was not a man who liked to lose, certainly not in public. Sitting in his temporary rental just a few streets away from their former family home, he sipped his coffee and scrolled through the headlines. The divorce was already lighting up fan blogs and gossip rags. Dorit files for primary custody amid PK split. Kemsley clash. Custody battle looms over RAOBH star's kids. He grunted, "Bloody hell. This wasn't about punishing her. PK had his faults. He was the first to admit he drank too much when the tension got high, spent too liberally when stress set in. But he was a good father. No judge was going to take that away from him without a fight." His lawyer had asked him again that morning, "Are you sure you want to push for joint custody? You know what this might become." But PK knew what he was doing. Dorit had taken the first shot. Now he had to show that he was still standing. Flashbacks in Fendi. A Bravo camera operator followed Dorit as she got dressed for an RHOBH confessional shoot. A stylist fussed over her hair while she stared into the mirror, her thoughts miles away from mascara. Behind her polished reflection, she could see snapshots of the last few years, the break-ins, the anxiety, the therapy sessions, the hushed conversations in their en-suite at 2 a.m. when they both agreed they'd fallen out of sync. They tried. Oh, they tried. For the kids, for the cameras, for the version of themselves that once danced in Mykonos and kissed beneath the Eiffel Tower. But eventually, even glam squads couldn't cover up the cracks. "Ready when you are, Dorit," the producer called. She took one last look at herself, then smiled. "Let's begin." Custody chess, court filings, mediation calendars, custody evaluations. The logistics of the divorce quickly eclipsed the emotions behind it. Jagger, their 11-year-old, had started asking questions. "Why does Daddy have a different house now?" Phoenix was quieter, but her nighttime routine had changed, more clingy, less independent. Dorit consulted her attorney. "If PK gets joint custody, that means equal time." "Technically, yes, though actual schedules often differ, but he's making a solid case." She rubbed her temples. "I'm not trying to keep the kids from him. I just need consistency. They need it." Her lawyer nodded, but Dorit knew the reality. In family court, intent didn't always win, strategy did. PK's team was already positioning him as a hands-on father. Photos of school pickups, PTA involvement, weekend soccer games. And worse, whispers were circulating in legal circles that he might file for primary custody in response, just to make her blink first. It was becoming a game of chicken, with their children in the backseat. Bravo's eye. The producer smelled drama. Dorit had been hesitant about filming the divorce storyline, but she knew the show had become a lifeline for her brand, her identity, her financial independence. After all, PK was now trying to terminate her spousal support. She couldn't afford to look weak. Her castmates rallied around her. Kyle Richards offered to babysit during court hearings. Erica Jane, of all people, gave her the bluntest advice. "Don't let the press define your divorce. Control your own narrative. If PK wants to battle you in court, beat him in the edit." Dorit laughed. It was absurd, yet oddly empowering. She gave the green light to film a scene where she confided in her therapist, breaking down just enough to show vulnerability, but not victimhood. PK's gambit. PK had always been the showman, but now he was playing a different role, the underdog. In a sit-down with his legal team, they went over strategy. He had already agreed not to pursue spousal support himself, but his insistence on joint custody wasn't just legal, it was personal. "She thinks I can't handle them," he vented. But who was there when she had panic attacks after the robbery? Who handled every breakfast, every bedtime story, when she went on week-long shoots? He had receipts, literally. Voicemails from the school principal praising his involvement. Photos of Jagger's last birthday, planned entirely by him. A video of Phoenix dancing in the kitchen while he made pancakes. If this went to trial, he'd be ready. The mediation room. The first joint mediation was brutal. No cameras, no stylists, just Dorit and PK sitting across a polished wood table in a room so silent you could hear the soft hum of the A/C. Their attorneys tried to bridge the gap. "You both want what's best for the kids." Dorit looked at PK. "Then why are you doing this? You know they need one home base." "And you think that's your house, huh?" PK snapped. "You're always gone, Dorit. Don't make me list the nannies by name." She flinched. "That's low." "So's pretending I don't matter as their father." The mediator stepped in. "Let's take a break." Dorit stormed into the hallway. Her lawyer followed. "We're not going to agree today," he said. "No," she whispered, blinking back tears. "We're not." Whispers and warnings. Behind closed doors, Bravo execs began crafting the next RHOBH storyline. They knew viewers would eat up the divorce drama. But there were risks. Child custody was a line they had to tread carefully. Dorit's contract renewal was coming up. PK had already hinted he might file a court motion to restrict the kids from appearing on screen without his consent. It was a smart move, messy, tactical. She received the warning from her lawyer late at night. If he gets temporary joint custody before the new season airs, he can block the kids' appearances. Dorit stared out the window, watching the city flicker beneath her. PK wasn't just trying to win the custody case. He was trying to erase her control. Jagger's voice? It was Jagger who tipped the balance. He'd started writing a journal at school. One entry made its way to a counselor. "I just want mommy and daddy to be happy. I don't like two houses. I feel like a ping pong ball." The school reached out. The counselor, a kind woman named Dr. Bennett, requested a session with both parents. Court-ordered or not, they agreed. Sitting side by side, Dorit and PK watched their son describe his confusion, his sadness, his need for peace. "I don't care where I sleep," he said. "I just want to feel like we're still a family." That night, neither of them slept. The new terms. 2 weeks later, PK's lawyer reached out. He's willing to consider a modified custody schedule. More flexible, fewer overnights, coordinated calendars for stability. Dorit hesitated. What's the catch? No spousal support, full financial independence, and one condition: you don't disparage him on camera. Not once. It was a compromise, but a loaded one. She had to decide if her dignity was worth more than her bitterness. And slowly she realized it was.